Beijing's foreign policy approach differs from Washington's. China has chosen to stand with the people who are dying and suffering. In this tragedy, there are no heroes, just villains and victims. While pointing to the root causes, Israel's repressive tactics against Palestinians, Hamas's brutal attack on civilians, and the failure of both sides to implement a two-state solution, Beijing has condemned the actions rather than the sides. The reason is simple. The only way of stopping what has become a cycle of death and destruction is through negotiations. Until there is a consensus agreement between these two sides, there's no hope of peace. Beijing, as President Xi Jinping's latest statement indicates, wants an immediate ceasefire, humanitarian aid, and for all sides to reach a consensus on a two-state solution. But the solution must be reached by those at the center of it. It cannot be imposed by others. Washington has tried numerous times to push its agendas, but it has not stopped the ongoing tragedies, insisting that standing with one side or the other, the Israeli government or Hamas, is a false dichotomy. Both sides have blood on their hands, which is why China stands with the people who are suffering, not those causing the bloodshed. In terms of China's political and economic interests, Beijing wants peace and trade. 60% of its oil imports come from the Middle Eastern countries. It is an important export market. The mistake is trying to look at Beijing's foreign policy as a reflection of US policies. China's culturally and intellectually believe in consensus rather than corporatism. It rejects the notion that power creates the right to preach and impose in favor of the innate responsibility of power to create consensus, a theme that will continue to be a difference in the approach China versus the US and EU.